Yo guys, what's up? It's Gaz. Welcome to the Warframe video. So, I'm sorry. I'm gonna preface this video with I'm sorry. I'm about to ruin some people's days right here. But I just wanted to remind you guys that on the 31st, we are getting the next Prime Access. Or rather, Ivara Prime Access is leaving. So, it's inevitable that we'll get Titania Prime Access on the 31st as well. And I want to just remind you guys, we're 1 week out from that. They are going to be changing melee Riven disposition for the first time in like a huge way ever. So they said on the last Prime Access, which is Ivara Prime Access, that was around the time we were getting melee 2.97, whatever they want to call it. They said we know that we just changed the melee system, so we're not going to change melee Rivens right now too, because that would be a little bit too extreme of a change. But we will be doing the change in the next Prime Access of the next year. So that is the Prime Access we're going to right now, Titania Prime Access. So yeah, I would be expecting lots of changes to melee Riven disposition. And if you didn't know this, if you have a Riven with decent stats on, or whatever your stats are already, so if, for example, this Broken War one we're looking at right now, if they were to buff the Broken War, which I do think they are going to do with the Rivens, my range would go up, the critical chance I already have in this mod, they would all change to the new behind-the-scenes multiplier these Rivens have. I'm actually going to take you to a website called Semlar. We've used it on the channel quite a bit, actually. So here is actually the behind-the-scenes multiplier I'm talking about. So, Riven disposition, as you can see, we are just looking at the Broken War. The Broken War is pretty low, so it's like down here somewhere. Broken War, right here. 0.79. So whatever my stats are, it multiplies that by 0.79, and that's what we actually get in game. So if they were to increase that to like something like the Bow Prime, which is a 1.29 multiplier, they'd be getting multiplied by a good chunk there. So that's the thing. They usually don't reduce the disposition by a huge amount every time they do these things, but here's my hunch, guys. This is the hunch. This is not factual. They have not really done melee Riven changes en masse before, so I do think they might go a little bit ham here and do some really heavy nerfs, some really heavy buffs. So I wanted to remind you guys of that. I'm also going to provide you with my nerfs and buff watch list because, yeah, there's some things that have had really weak Rivens for a long time, and they definitely deserve to have stronger Rivens than they currently do. And there's also some things that have been weak for or strong for a really long time. They're going to nerf the crap out of them. Like, for example, we're going to go over that first. So here is my buff watch list. So these are things... No, nerf watch list first. Let's do the nerf watch list first. These are Rivens that are really, really strong right now, and I've personally been trying to get rid of the Rivens I have for these weapons because they don't need a Riven to be god tier or like really, really strong. They just push the weapon over the top. So for example, one of those is the Cronin Prime. I'd say number one is the Cronin Prime. You do not need a Riven for the Cronin Prime at all. But the Cronin Prime with the Riven is really, really deadly, as we can see on this one. The stats on this, I have more than the attack speed of a fully stacked Berserker, and that's definitely more than Sacrificial Steel as well. Yeah, this is literally like Sacrificial Steel and Berserker fully stacked in one mod slot. So, it's definitely going to get nerfed. I don't really know if I'm going to sell my Riven for this. I don't really want to. I want to see how weak it becomes personally. But yeah, if you are someone that just wants to keep every Riven slot like really as optimal as possible, you might want to get rid of your Cronin Riven in the next week. Even though I'm sure a lot of people will try and sell them because I was already trying to sell it before. So that's number one. Number two is the Grand Prime. Grand Prime has had really, really powerful Rivens since its launch. That was part of the ridiculous thing about the Grand Prime at first. It was just like, yeah, here it is. It's one of the highest dispositions in the entire game. And the Grand Prime and the Graham have actually the same disposition. So I could maybe expect the normal Graham to keep that dispo, but definitely the Grand Prime will get nerfed heavily. And we'll see how heavily it actually is. Like I said, they usually only do like one or two little blips worth of nerfs at a time, but we don't actually know if they're going to stick to that. Number three is the Dual Keres. Dual Keres, for some reason, has some of the strongest Rivens in the game. Same with the Twin Krokir. I know a lot of people like that. Some people prefer that over the Dual Keres. Me personally, I have a Dual Keres Riven I really like, so I'm going to keep that one, even if it gets nerfed pretty heavily. Like I think I have like 3 meters of range on mine and like damage. It's definitely going to get heavily nerfed, so keep an eye on that one. I know this is like really sad to talk about, but this is just how they do the things in this game, guys. Love it or hate it. I definitely hate it. Number 4, the Reaper Prime. Reaper Prime has decent Rivens. Not like exactly the highest disposition, but still like probably a lot higher than it deserves. And yeah, here it is, 1.29. It's like a little bit above the middle of the road. I can see this going down to at least like 1, maybe even a little bit lower, down to like where like the Helio core is sitting around. So moving on past that, we have number 5, the Plague Crit Path. Plague Crit Path will definitely get nuked from orbit, guys. Plague Crit Path has been a hugely used weapon for a long time. Its Rivens have always been desired, and yeah, it doesn't even need a Riven to be good, but I mean, most people who want to use the Plague Crit Path have used a Riven for it, so I could definitely be expecting that one to die off, or just be completely mauled by whoever the person that nerfs Rivens is. I forgot what his name was. So also top stat sticks like the Mire, the Jaw Sword, they do rely on Rivens for actual optimal max damage. They have really high dispositions, even though they're not really used a lot. So for example, I never actually use the Jaw Sword as a weapon. I just use it as a stat stick on Korra. I mean, I literally have a minus range Riven. It's pretty much unusable with the Riven I have. So they'll probably nerf the stats on that, to be honest. And then the Paracesis has like average Rivens currently, but everyone in the game uses the Paracesis. So expect that one to get nerfed, which is going to be sad because we're going to be using that for Scarlet Spear probably, unless you're doing some specific things that we'll be recommending in the tier list and the guides and all that stuff. Redeemer's had really powerful Rivens since the Redeemer Prime was a thing. Expect that to get nerfed, and then pretty much every strong melee Riven. So as we're looking at the disposition list right here, like I wouldn't expect the Amethyst to get nerfed. Maybe it will, since people use it as stat sticks. But any like actual good weapon that's up around here is definitely going to get hit a little bit. As you see, the Jaw Sword, not a good weapon, but it's going to get hit anyway because a lot of people use it. I'd say the Kogake Prime is actually safe. I don't even know what the Ankyros Prime stats are, to be honest. Machete Wraith, I could definitely even see that one getting hit a little bit because it's an okay weapon now. There's a Prisma Machete? What? I've never seen the Prisma Machete before. Yeah, so like you can actually look at this. I'll be linking this site down in the description if you want to take a look at what your favorite weapon's disposition is. But yeah, like Ninkandi Prime gonna get hit, Tekko Prime gonna get hit, Fang Prime even, can see that happening. Hate, definitely. Hate's a very popular weapon if you have it. So yeah, expect some of those things. And now we're gonna go over my buff watch list. So this is not as exciting as the other one, but these weapons have extremely low dispositions and are not really heavily used. And number 1 on that is the War. I don't know if you guys know what the War is. It's like an impact greatsword that you can get from the Stalker. He drops the blueprint. You have to build it with some like sentient parts. It's really annoying to build. It's got 0.5. It's got literal bottom tier disposition. If they don't buff that, there's no justice in this world. Straight up, it's a bad weapon. It has the worst Rivens in the game. They need to buff it. So I'm expecting that to get buffed a good chunk. It definitely won't make the War good because it's impact based, and even if the impact changes, impact's about to be trash. So it's not going to change anything. But hey, you'll have higher stats in your Rivens. The War is a really cool looking weapon. I love the way that the War looks. That's why I'm a bit bummed that it's like an impact sword and it doesn't really do anything. It doesn't have a unique passive, anything like that. So keep an eye on that one. Also, this Kira Lecta. I believe that they made the dispo on that thing really low just because people used to farm credits with that. But, I mean, nowadays, the Secure Electa for credits is pretty much irrelevant, so maybe they can buff that one up. As you can see right here, it also has bottom disposition at 0.5. Haruto is a weapon that not a lot of people use, and, I mean, part of that is because it has 0.5 dispo. These are a bunch of 0.5 dispo weapons I'm pointing out here. So maybe expect that one to buff. That's not like a guarantee, but it has 0.5 for some reason. Just because it has built-in lifesteal. Built-in lifesteal is not even a really big deal nowadays for well-geared players. So I can see that one getting buffed. We already went over the Broken War. Broken War is one that it's not a super high disposition, but not a lot of people use this, I feel like. It is given to you in the story mode, though, so maybe they won't end up buffing that one. But only 0.79. As I showed, like the stats are kind of low on the one that I have. So they could definitely throw that one up a little bit, maybe just like neutral 1.0 from 0.79 we're currently at. And then moving on, we have the Heliocore. The Heliocore is also really low stat-wise, and I never see people using this thing. So I could maybe see that one happening. And like, guys, this list is not comprehensive. Like, you could just look at this list, like, oh, is this going to get buffed? Zenostar? Maybe. Zenostar is literally not even a weapon to me anymore, so buff on the Rivens would probably make some people more happy. The Zenostar got completely destroyed, so don't expect that to make it viable again at all. Venka Prime probably, it will get buffed a little bit, but I doubt it will get like a heavy buff because the Venka Prime's already good without a Riven. Moving on to Pup Assist, remember that thing? Me neither. It's like a infested staff that's like a wannabe Plague Zaw, but it has pretty low disposition for some reason. We're going to be sitting at only 1 for the Pup Assist. This might become like a replacement for some Plague stuff. Like Plague Zaws, they're getting heavily nerfed with Rivens. So maybe keep that one in mind. I never see anyone use that weapon ever, and it's like really ugly looking, so maybe. The Cindo Prime, which is a heavy blade, which, I mean, I don't see any. The thing is, if you're going to use a heavy blade, you're probably not going to use the Cindo Prime. So maybe I can see that one getting buffed. These are all just guesses, of course. And then, like I said, number 8, there's too many weak Rivens to list all of them. So I'd say, if you want to speculate on some stuff, go to this website, see what's low, maybe get like Electa Riven, Rock to Dark Dagger. Oh wait, never mind, they're nerfing it. Anorax, like maybe they'll buff the Anorax Rivens. That would be pretty funny. I see some people still using Maiming Strike, which is hilarious. It's fine for low levels, I guess, but I mean, then again, everything is fine for low levels. But yeah, just take a look at this stuff, guys. Like, I can see the Gunson maybe getting a buff. No one really uses the Gunson, even though the Gunson's pretty good, besides the range. Obax, Prisma Obax, Architectron, you name it, it might get changed. These are all just like some food for thought, not exactly like a factual list of what's getting buffed, what's getting nerfed. And like I said, they might just go a little bit crazy and over nerf or over buff some stuff. So keep that one in mind. They will also be changing gun Rivens too, so don't think that those are safe just because they're not getting heavily. They haven't been touched in a while, so they will be definitely touching the like the Mutila Cernos, whatever. Like every gun pretty much is going to be getting some changes unless they don't feel like changing it. Looking at you, Fulman, that used to be really good. Now it's like 52% multi-shot. Like, oh my god. That just makes me mad. Fulman Rivens go for like hardly anything compared to before. So, yeah, that was pretty much it for the video today. I wanted to let you guys know that I didn't forget that melee Riven changes are coming. And hopefully you didn't forget either, because it might influence some of the things that you really like. And like I said, the stats on the mods that already exist will get changed. Like, for example, this Tiburon one used to have higher stats, and it's lower now. So, I'll talk to you guys next time. Hopefully you found the video helpful for some planning, possibly. Don't panic sell everything, of course. We don't actually know how bad they'll be doing this stuff. But you could definitely expect, if they do like a minor, small nerf for this upcoming balance pass on the 31st, people will be panicking after that. Like, oh, they only nerfed it a little bit this time, but that means they're guaranteed to nerf it again in the future. So there will definitely be some reduced prices on these Rivens after the 31st. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys next time. Scarlet Spear this week still, expecting Wednesday or Thursday, like I said, and then there will be more videos for sure. Talk to you guys next time. Peace.